Autobots, roll out!
I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Daban Model 9913, and I love this toy. This is a bit of a mystery for me. This actually just popped up for me while I was I was looking for another figure, and this one popped up and I thought it was interesting, so I went ahead and picked it up. I've never heard of Daban Model before. We'll take a look at the packaging real quick. Daban Model, never heard of these guys before. Model 9913, and it's their take on an IDW Optimus Prime, and I thought it was just really neat. Taking a quick look at the package, you can see it's got some artwork right there. 9913 Daban Model, then just 9913 on all the sides there, and then across the back. Product shots of the figure both in the robot mode and in the vehicle mode, and again 9913. Not a whole lot there. I've been looking online, and it doesn't look like this is a KO of anything else. It seems to be like maybe an original mold for this company. There is a copy, a 1-to-1 KO copy of this company made of another figure. That's the figure that I purchased when I ran into this one. And again, I just thought it was interesting, so I picked it up. I bought this from AliExpress, and it retails for approximately $20. And as you can see, again, it's this company's take on IDW Optimus Prime, which is really neat. This is a very cool little figure. It does have a little bit of die cast on the back of the figure here where the legs are going to be, so it's got good heft to it. A really nice looking tray. You got the long flat cap there with the white stripes there on the side. Red for the body, blue for the back. You got some silver details here on the wheels, black windows, silver grille, lights, and bumper. Looking really nice. It rolls really nicely, and as you can see, the weapon can be mounted there to the back of the figure. Now, this figure falls, it's a kind of a weird scale. It doesn't seem to fall in scale with anything else. A couple of quick comparisons. Here is the Orion Pax figure that just recently came out, so you can see what the two of them look like together. And I would almost say that this is almost like a deluxe class vehicle. It's in between. It's like right in between deluxe class and Voyager class. You'll see what I mean here. So there he is with Orion Pax, but here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime, and you can see that these guys are almost the same size. He's just a little bit shorter than Earthrise right there, and lengthwise, and a little bit shorter in the height department as well, just by a little bit. So, and then of course when we get into the robot mode, the proportions kind of change. So it's kind of weird if you're looking for like a collection of where you're going to put this with. It's kind of hard to say where it's going to fit in with. One more comparison, there he is with Generation 1 Optimus Prime, just so you can see what the two of them look like together. And really, I just kind of wanted to show the size with these guys because it's such a weird size. But again, it is such a cool little truck mode right there. You can pop these open right here if you want to remove the weapon. There are tabs on the back of the weapon there and there that go into some slots into the figure right there. That's where you're going to store the weapon. And just taking a closer look at that, the weapon is interesting because it's got the two screws on this side where they assembled it, but then over on the other side they molded the screws to kind of make it even on both sides. I thought that was interesting. But there you go, so you can see what the weapon looks like, and then you can just put that there. Now, I have tried a couple of different trailers. I inevitably always get the question of what trailer will work with this. I've tried a couple. There's nowhere really to plug a trailer, and there's nothing really that fits properly with him. Nothing seems to sit right. Either it sits too low or it sits too high. Just doesn't seem like there's going to be really a good trailer for it. But there you go. There's the figure in the vehicle mode for you right there. Transformation for this figure is really interesting. So I'm going to start right here on the side, and I'm just going to grab these panels and just kind of flip these up. And the reason I'm going to start there is so that I can go ahead and take this panel here and pull this out and flip it down. By the way, this figure does come packaged in robot mode, but the instructions start you from vehicle mode to robot. So This is just one of those where you're going to have to look up a video to see how it transforms, because it's crazy. This whole side of the vehicle right here is pegged in there. There's a port there with a peg, and then there's a slot here with a tab. So we're just going to go ahead and pull on both of those, and then we're going to fold this panel down and bring it all the way down like that. So we'll do the same thing on this side. Grab this panel, flip it up, and that's tight. You're going to get this tab out from the front of the vehicle right there. That'll let you flip this down, and then you can just unpeg this panel, unpeg that panel, and bring everything down like so. You can separate the legs, and then you can open up the feet. That's going to be pretty much the bottom of the robot there done. If I can get this guy out of here. There we go. So that'll be pretty much the legs of the robot right there. Moving on to the front of the vehicle, we're just going to start untabbing things here. So the whole side of the vehicle right here, this whole thing is going to unpeg there and there. So there are tabs there that are going into this panel right here. And this should allow you to bring the entire side of the vehicle out to form the arms. While we're here, go ahead and take these panels, flip these up, and just kind of leave them there for now. I have already put a sticker on mine. And then we're going to take this panel right here. Now, to straighten out the arm first, you want to bring the arm down. You'll notice that the bicep here has a tab that goes in there. You won't be able to rotate it while it's up like that. So you want to bring this down first before you're able to rotate that. And then this little panel right here, this has kind of like two panels. It's on a double hinge right there. And that's just going to assist in opening this up, because you have to reach in here and get the fist out. And this is really, really difficult to do without a tool. I was hoping to maybe try and do it without a tool for you here, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to give it one try. I happen to have a very long fingernail right there, so I'm going to give it a try. But as you can see, yeah, it's not that easy. It really is not. Once you get the fist out, the instructions really don't specify as to whether this panel should be down or up. I kind of go up with it just to kind of get it off the hand. And then what I do here is, you'll notice I got some little stress marks there already just trying to get the fist out. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to have this tab rest on this little bit of a slot right here. So when I do that, that's actually going to create a little bit of that bend that IDW Prime had in his arm right there. So again, we'll do that over here. We'll bring the arm down, rotate that. We'll bring all of this out. And I think, just for the interest of quickness here, I'm just going to use my trusty sword, just because it's just much easier to do it that way. Putting them away, not a problem, but taking them out is super difficult. So there you go. There's the arms there, and then these panels are going to turn, and then you're going to fold this panel down like that. So again, we're going to turn that panel, fold that panel down, and that's pretty much the arms right there. The next bit gets a little tricky right here. It gets a little hard. So we're going to want to try and pull everything away from each other. So you'll notice how I just pulled the windows away from the front of the cab right here. And we're going to want to make sure, let's see, I'm trying to remember what we want to do when. Let's go ahead and turn this around now. I think, no, now is not a good time to do that. Go ahead and open the windows and I'll show you why. I just backed myself out like that. So get the wing piece right here. This is tabbed in there and there. And that is scary in the beginning. I've gotten mine loosened up over time, but at first that was super scary. So we're going to untab that from there. We're going to open up the windows. And these windows are on a little bit of a double hinge there. And then we're going to rotate the head up and out. And as you do that, you'll notice there's this little tab piece right here. So we want to work that hinge. You see that? Working that hinge out so that we can get this piece all the way out like that. We were not going to be able to do that this way. That was just not going to happen. That's why I needed to get the head out while we were still here. But now we can go ahead and turn this around. Take the wheels right here. The wheels are actually tabbed in right there. So you're going to untab the wheels, and these are going to rotate and kind of go inside of the cab right here. We have to do this kind of at the same time. So there's a couple of things that are happening here at the same time. We're going to push up. The entire front of the truck has to push up. The sides, this side here and this side here, we're going to line up with these slots here and here. And while we're bringing the whole thing up, we're also going to push those wheels into that body. So these things all kind of have to happen all at the same time. And it gets a little tricky to show on camera here, but I will do my best to show. I am really not getting in there. And we need to get that cleared out, and I'll show you why we need that get that cleared out in a moment. Let me see if maybe bringing this down, this gray piece is going to sit on that slab right there, and then these windows are going to close right there. Let's see if that helps me bring any of this up and out of the way. So there we go. So wheels now went all the way in there, and now we got to kind of work this up like so that it sits all the way up on his back like that. That needs to happen so that we can clear this whole bottom piece out right here. That little port is going to go into that peg right there. So that's going to snap into place as soon as you get it lined up, which I don't. There you go. And then this wing piece right here, this is going to fold down on a double hinge. And that little piece right there, it's where this is meant, this lot is where this is meant to rest. Now, it's not super secure. It would be nice if it tabbed in or something. It doesn't. It just kind of sit there. So as you're messing around with it, you might move it, and it's probably going to come out. It's not terrible. It's not super loose. It's not like it's flapping around or anything, as you can see. But it's also just not snapped in there. It's just sitting there. But there you go. It does a pretty good job of cleaning it up. But yeah, that's about it. And I think, yep, the arms do go in a little bit. And yeah, that was a little bit muddled, but this figure has a muddled transformation. What can I tell you? But there you go. There's the Daban Model 9913, or IDW Optimus Prime, in his robot mode. And in this robot mode, he stands approximately 6.5 inches tall. And again, he is a very, very nice representation of IDW Optimus Prime. He's a nice, small one. Because usually the IDW Optimus Prime figures that we've had have all been either Voyagers or Masterpiece scale figures. So it's really nice and refreshing to have one at this scale. Somewhere, again, this is going to be right in between Deluxe and Voyager, and you'll see that here in a moment. Going all the way around, you'll see he has a pretty nice, clean robot mode. Yeah, he's got a half a truck on his back, but it's covered by the windows, or by the wing here, so you don't really get to see that. No hollow spots or anything like that. Again, the feet or the legs here, these have metal, so he does have a nice, good heft to it. Very nice looking figure. Again, I thought this was really, really neat. Articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint, so it can go up and down a little bit. It can turn side to side. These shoulders can go forward and backward all the way around. They can go in and out. Rotation at the bicep. Bend at the elbow, 90 degrees. No rotation at the wrist, unfortunately. Now, he does have that wrist or that waist rotation, but he's pegged in, remember? So you have to unpeg him from the waist if you want to rotate him. And then it's kind of like off center. So I don't know that that's really going to look good. But it's, I mean, if you want to work with that for some posing and some pictures, I guess it's something that you can do. I'm going to hit that, get that pegged back in there. The legs can go, I just unpicked it again. This is the worst review ever. Okay. Legs can go forward that far on the ratchet. They can go back that far on the same ratchet. They can rotate at the hip, bend at the knee. Toes can go up and down, and he's got a little bit of ankle tilt. Not a lot, just about that much ankle tilt right there. Not a whole lot. But it works for those poses. So there you go. We'll go ahead and give him his weapon. And yeah, there you go. I like it. I really like it. I just thought it was so neat that I was looking for something else for another figure that will be coming in a future review. I haven't shown off what that figure is yet. But in looking for that figure, I found a 1-to-1 KO model of that figure that I'm referencing to by this company. And while I was in the process of purchasing it, this one came up as a suggestion. Hey, here's another product from this company. And I thought, that's interesting. Looks neat. I like the size. $20. Buy it now. So there it is. I like it. I dig it. A couple of quick comparisons. Once again, there he is with Orion Pax, which is a deluxe class figure. So you can see what the two of them look like together. And we'll do this. We'll put them side by side here, this way. And then we'll bring in Earthrise Optimus Prime, which is a Voyager class figure. So again, you can see he kind of falls right in the middle there, right? He's a bigger than a Deluxe. He's smaller than a Voyager. He's a large Deluxe or a small Voyager. So again, this question comes up a lot: is what collection could this guy fit into? I really don't know. I really don't know, because he doesn't seem like he's going to size well with anything specifically. You know what he's going to size well with? My Optimus Prime collection. That's what he's going to size well with. He's going to look fantastic on my Optimus Prime shelf. Final comparison, there he is with G1 Optimus Prime. And he's the size of G1 Optimus Prime. There you go. That's how tall he is. Very interesting. Very, very cool little figure. Very sturdy figure. Fun to transform. Difficult to show off on camera, but fun to transform nonetheless. It is fun to transform. It's fun to play with. This is a super interesting figure that I have really been enjoying a lot. Just ran into it by happenstance, and I'm really glad that I did. And I think that about does it for this. Let's call it a KO IDW Optimus Prime Daban Model 9913. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.